Hi everyone, my name's Rob, I'm a smartphone filmmaker, and today we're talking about the Falcon F7 RGB LED pocket light. Now before we get into that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. Every week the numbers are going up and that's amazing. If you haven't, you're new to this channel, I cover everything smartphone filmmaking. From accessory videos like this one, to videos on how to make a film on your own, how to make film in bright sunlight. I show you the short films that I'm making so you can see how I'm putting those into practice as well. And I also make unusual Filmmaker Pro tutorials that you won't see anywhere else, and they've been endorsed by Filmmaker Pro too. So if you want to check those out, do that. If that's something you're interested in smartphone filmmaking, then hit that subscribe button now, hit the like button as your good deed for the day, and let's get on with this video, the Falcon F7 RGB LED pocket light. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. Slides open like this. Bada bing, bada boom. That's where the light would normally be when you open it up. And you take this off. It is incredible what you get with this. One of the things that I love, probably one of the most important things I think about this, is the honeycomb grid that you get with it. So you got these little rubber sort of sleeves that you then slide over. A bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you just slide it in. And you do the same thing at the other end. And you've got yourself, oh, I'm making this a little too smooth, am I? But you've got yourself a really nice honeycomb grid for your light. So you can direct the light in a very purposeful way rather than having it spilling everywhere. It's a really nice addition. But that's not all you get with this. Diffuser. So in the same way that slots over and diffuses your light. It's not as good as if you got like a regular diffuser. Because it's so close to the screen, it doesn't soften the light as much as maybe I'd like, but it's a really nice little bit of kit, and it's a well thought out kit as well. You kind of get everything you could possibly need with this. This is the charging cable. So, for example, you've got a iPhone, like I have, the plug that you use to charge your iPhone, you just take the wire out of that, plug that bit in, and then this bit, of course, just plugs into there, and then that bit will plug into your plug that's in the wall and that will charge it up. The pocket light bag, very slick, very nice. If I just kind of push a few of these bits to the back, give them more space. So you can see you've got a little plastic sleeve bit in there if you want to put a little something extra in there, and the light just slots straight in. So another thing that's really handy, actually I think is incredibly handy, is you've got this cold shoe adapter. So this twists, and then you can kind of swing these either way. So you could screw it in like that, have the light facing to the left, or if you want, you can have it like that, turn it around and face it to the right, or have it angled down, have it facing upwards. You can have pretty much any angle you want using this, and then you just screw that back to tighten up again. So that's super, super cool. So something else you get with this is a 1/4 inch screw cold shoe. So you can just put that into your light and you can attach that to anything you want. So I've got a Urig Ulanzi Pro here, so I can use that. Or if you've got a B-Script Pro, or if you're using DSLR cameras, that kind of stuff, you can screw this into your rig as well. So it's a really handy little extra you get with that, and they've really thought of everything. So you've got that, you've got the adapter to put it into different positions, you've got the honeycomb grid, you've got the softbox, you kind of got everything you could possibly need for a light rig and setup. Okay, so let's show you this RGB LED light. So this is the Falcon i7. Now you've got, on the side here, you've got a couple of dials, which we'll show you what they do in a minute. The silver one is to turn it on and switch through different modes. You've got the USB port here, which I'll show you can charge with that, which is really handy. You've got the female 1/4 inch thread, so you can attach this to a tripod or a C-stand, anything like that. That's really helpful. Gives you a bit more flexibility of where you can put this. And it also has a magnetic strip, which I'll show you in a moment too. So you can actually stick this to metal objects, which might help you with filming in different scenarios. So if we turn it on, we tap the silver button, or we hold on to the silver button. Boom. And we've got this lovely blue light here. Now this is the RGB sort of aspect of the light. So if we, let's see, this is the hue. So you tap that middle black dial here and that highlights hue, so you can then change it so you can create different colors. You see they go for the whole spectrum. It's pretty amazing what this can do. And they go back to blue. We can then change the saturation. I think that was actually wasn't that one. Back to blue, yeah. Then saturation, that's at 100%, and this is a saturation round right down to nothing. Bring it back up to blue, and then you got the brightness. The brightness by percentage. So for that, you use the bottom black wheel here. You can bring it right down to off, and then you can bring the brightness right up to 100%. Now, if it's 100% for anything, you're going to get about an hour of battery life out of this, which is pretty good, I think, given what it can do and how powerful it is. And if you go about 50%, you're looking at more like 2 hours, something like that. So it's pretty good battery life for something that can do so much. And then if we tap out of that with the silver button, we go to scenes. Now, I'll show you the different scenes on this one because it's quite interesting. You've got a few that I don't really know if you'd use so much at all. But about 10 of them are really good, I think, and I'll show you those now. Okay, so using the back of the instructions at the bottom here, we've got all the different scene names, so I'm going to show you all of them and what they do. Also, just to let you know, there's a strobe light in this, so if that's something that will affect you, you may want to skip this little part of the video. Okay, so scene number 1, this is a police car. Now, one thing I have noticed is that these don't seem to match UK sort of police cars, sirens, lights, that kind of thing, so you may have to mix and match to get the right ones that you want for your country that you live in. This is the police car if you've been a naughty boy. Now if you move on to the next one, number 2, this is ambulance. And if we go on to number 3, this is fire truck. Now this is the first of the lightning options. So that's lightning. Pretty good. If you put some sound effects behind that in a dark room, that could work really well. This is a bit more frantic lightning. I like that one a lot, that's really good. Moving on to number 6, this is HSI, so this is going to work its way through the colour spectrum on the light at a fairly calm pace. Then we move on to the next one, it's the same again but faster. So this one kind of shoots through all the colours. Not sure, again, why you'd need this one. Maybe if you're using this for a background on something, it could be useful. Now this is one of my favourite ones on the whole list of scenes that you can create. This is a television screen, so if you're facing it, or your camera is facing your talent, and I think it's a really good way to mimic a TV screen flashing away at someone's face. And this is candlelight. This is another good one as well, actually. So if you've got a scene where you've got 2 people talking with a candle in the middle of maybe a romantic scene or something, you could place this next to the candle and create a little candle effect. Now, one thing I have to say about these effects is you cannot change the brightness of the effects and you cannot change the speed of the effects, which I think is a huge downfall. The light itself is still amazing, but there are 2 things that I was really gutted about when I got this light. I didn't realise that you couldn't change them. But the new double panel one of these that you can buy, which are joined together, you can change those aspects of the lighting. So maybe if you've got the budget to get those 2 instead, it does cost a lot more though. So this is another good effect. This is paparazzi. So maybe, you're going like, oh my god, camera, oh no, don't look at me, I'm shy, I just want to get in the limousine. This light is obviously strobe, so maybe you're at a party or something like that, or any kind of scenes that you want to use a strobe for. It's a little bit mental. So this effect is called high and low beam bulb. So I imagine this is cars passing or something like that. So I don't know how quite you'd use this, but it's there if you want it. The next one is hazard lights. So it's a little bit frantic, but if you've got people in a scene that you're filming where maybe their cars crash or they've had to pull over and they had to put the hazard lights on, this is something you could use off shot to flash the lights at their faces, which could work quite well actually. I quite like that one. Now this is where it gets a bit mental. This is the red flash. So you got 3 pulses and then crazy. And you've got the same thing with green, blue, and then we go into party. So this is I suppose what's called party 1, So it's a fairly slow pace change of colours as if it was a party somewhere. Then this is party 2, so it's more higher tempo. And then this one, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why they've added this, but it's called breathing. Breathing white. So, I guess you could use this in something like a dreamy effect of a film, maybe something like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that kind of vibe. That could be useful. But that's an option if you wanted it. And the last one here is just RGB going mental. So this is just crazy flashing. I mean, I really don't know when or how you'd use this, but maybe there's someone out there in the comment section who could tell me why they would use that particular effect. But that is all the effects. Okay, so this is the regular part of the LED of this light. So you can use the bottom wheel again to adjust the brightness. You can go up to 100%, bring it down. Okay, as I mentioned before, this has got a magnetic strip across the back of the light, so that can stick to anything metallic. So if you've got something like a radiator, that can stick to that really securely as well. That's not going anywhere. So if you've got a light fixture above that's metallic, anything like that, or metal cupboards, that kind of thing, you could really light up a scene really nicely with this and change like the hue, the saturation, the colors, all that kind of stuff. So that's a really helpful technique that you can use with this light, especially when you're doing smartphone filmmaking and you're on a low budget as well. It's a really useful tool to have. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and it's a fascinating look at the Falcon Eyes F7 pocket light. It's a really good bit of kit. It's a tank of a light, it really is. It's built to last. It is an absolute machine, so it's well worth it. Now, as I say, you should be looking at different prices. Don't just go to Amazon because that's more expensive than eBay. Go to eBay. I'll put a link in the description below so you can get examples of how much cheaper it is. I saved about £30–40 getting on eBay compared to Amazon. So it's well worth looking around. Don't just go for the first price that you see. So, if you've enjoyed this video, everyone, and you found it useful, and you want to find out more about this kind of stuff, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Take care. Bye-bye.